All right, welcome back. Sports Show Week 7, NFL in the damn books. I think the Ravens were taking a page from Big Brother's playbook here, stealing signs against Detroit Lions. But let's go. The Eagles go to 6-1. Dolphins fall to 5-2. A.J. Brown, 10 catches, 137 yards, and a touchdown. Jalen Hurts hurting the Dolphins, 23 of 31, 279, 2 touchdowns. Huge pick six in the third quarter by Baker to tie the game 17-17. Eagles come right back downfield with a touchdown to A.J. Brown. Big play. Darius Slay had an interception late in the fourth quarter. That is his fifth straight game, 125 catches or more. A.J. Brown.
That got their GM fired, that trade, remember? They fired him like 2 days later.
They fucking should have, man. A horrible trade by the Eagles. Horrible trade by the Titans.
And then they went back and took the Titans, one of their cornerbacks last night.
Give me that. That's mine.
Yeah, the Eagles look good. I think they're dealing with some injuries on the defensive side of the ball, too. So, and then Hurts came out with a knee brace on in the second half from what I saw. So we'll see what they do, but I think they're team to beat in the NFC personally.
Ravens, oh my, did they hurt the Detroit Lions, 38-6.
Jesus.
They go to 5-2. The Lions go to 5-2. The Motor Cities go down in epic fashion. Lamar Jackson, 21-27, 357, 3 touchdowns, 50th win as a starter.
Yeah, my boy Lamar, I can't stand him. I don't think he's very good, but he had a pretty good game against the Lions, certainly. But the Lions also, they've got so many injuries on both sides of the ball. Shit, they pulled Mo Ibrahim off the street to the practice squad, elevated him, and he got freaking hurt. Now he's out for a while. Like, the Lions just, I don't know what's going on, but there's so many injuries on both sides of the ball there. They're in some trouble with those injuries, man. I think that's going to hurt them.
Lamar Jackson goes to 16-1 against NFC teams. Unbelievable record. Jared Goff, 33-53. For what it's worth, St. Brown did get over 100 yards, a lot of it in garbage time. Gibbs showed up there, had a nice kind of dual game there, receiving and rushing.
Do what they wanted.
503 total yards for the Baltimore Ravens at one point. 234 yards to 6 for total offense. My God. And where was Jameson Williams? Did anybody find where the hell he was at some point? Was he using the bathroom the whole game? Where the hell was he out there?
Yeah, he had a couple of drops, I guess, that weren't good. One of them hit him in the helmet, and he dropped it.
Yep.
He's had a lot of mental lapses since he came back. But in fairness, I'm just, I heard a lot of the radio hosts, local ones, going in on him. We need to do this, we need to do that, we need to get rid of him. The guy was out for a season, suspended for a couple games. I would expect a guy that hasn't played football in like a season and a half to look like that, though. Like, that's just me. Like, I think I'm not going to say unfair, but I think the expectation of him to be in like a top receiver and be catching all of these when he was out that long, I think he's going to look like shit for a while. Maybe he gets it together, maybe he doesn't, but
I think he'll forever carry that first round curse on his shoulders. I think that's what's going to be his crutch. Fun trivia question, and don't ruin this one. Jameson Williams has 20 targets this season. How many drop passes does he have?
10.
5. 20 targets, and you drop the ball 5 damn times.
5.
Whoa. The Patriots,
I feel like he dropped the ball 4 of those times this weekend.
Oh, he had at least one that hit him right in the melon. Boink! Oh. Patriots, what's going on? Knock off the Buffalo Bills. Bill Belichick gets his 300th win. Patriots jumped out to a 13-3 lead. Jabril Peppers with an INT. Josh Allen, 27 of 41, 265, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Mac Daddy Jones, 25 of 30, 272, 2 touchdowns. He was a pimp today. Poyer forced a fumble for Buffalo. Patriots go ahead with the touchdown, 12 seconds left. They get the win, 300 for Bill. He said, I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, we talked about last week about how the Bills were in some deep shit, and they are not playing good football on either side of the ball. Josh Allen looks terrible. Do they even make the playoffs at this point?
Ooh, good question. 4-3. Dolphins, they did get the loss, but they go to 5-2. The Jets are hanging around there. Yeah, I still believe Buffalo.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, that was my Super Bowl pick for the AFC, going against the Niners. Steelers, 24-17, 4-2 right now. The Rams go to 3-4. Steelers woke up in the second half, down 9-3 at halftime. An ugly score if you like offense. 21 points on the second half for Pittsburgh. Pickett to Pickens. The connection continues. Pickett 230 yards. Pickens 5 catches, 107. TJ Watt with an interception. Stafford 14-29, 231 touchdown and interception. Close out the fourth quarter on a conversion to give the Steelers a win. How about them Steelers staying alive at 4-2?
Yeah, if we had a real offensive coordinator, I think we'd be one of the better teams in the league because that defense is just elite. Watt is all these people, Aaron Donald this, Myles Garrett that. Watt, TJ Watt is one of the best players in the whole of the NFL, if not the. The guy's playing on a level that I've never seen before out of, like, the clip he's on this year, it's insane. Pickett, he's kind of but I blame a lot of his troubles on this shitty offensive coordinator. But yeah, hey, we got it together. That's a Steelers kind of a win. They gritted it out. Matt Stafford has not looked good a lot of the games this year out there either. So yeah, I think the Steelers are going to be in the thick of that division. We'll see how it goes. Get some big games coming up against the Ravens. So yeah, you're going to find out.
The Broncos 19-17. How the hell did the Packers lose to the Broncos? The Broncos go to 2-5. Packers go to 2-4. Broncos tried to blow this damn thing, though. They were up 9-0 at halftime. Another horrible score at halftime. Packers offense was in trouble the entire first half. First home win for Sean Payton. Russell Wilson 20-29, 194 yards and a touchdown. Love 21-31, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Who was the leading wide receiver for the Packers, and how many yards did they have in this game? Do you know?
With the Packers?
Yeah.
250?
A.J. Dillon, their leading receiver, had 34 fucking yards in this game.
Nice.
Green Bay.
It's kind of to piggyback on that real quick. This is why, even though the Lions lost, they're in no danger of anything in that division because everyone else is dog shit. They're terrible.
Horrible division. Lions got this in the bag. Green Bay has been outscored 63-6 in the first half their last 4 games.
Oh. Wow. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a bad football team.
That is a very bad football team. I don't even know how the hell, what do they got here? 2 wins. How the hell did they get 2? The Bears, 30-12 over the Raiders. The Bears go to 2-5. Raiders go to 3-4. Brian Hoyer, 17-32, 129 yards, 2 interceptions. Josh Jacobs, where are you? Who is this guy out here running the ball? His name Jacobs, 11 carries, 35 yards. Awful.
35. Jesus Christ.
Bears rookie quarterback Tyson, I can't say his last name, 21-29, 162 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Johnson for the Bears, 2 interceptions, including a pick 6. As the Bears knock off the Raiders. My God, Josh McDaniels might be fired after this season.
Did you see that Brian Hoyer has not won an NFL game since 2016?
I damn near choked. Well, he probably hasn't started a lot of damn games, but holy shit, he got his ass blown out by the Bears.
Yep.
All right, the Browns. This is an interesting game. Go to 4-2. Colts go to 3-4 with a 39-38 thriller. Colt quarterback Minshew, 15-23, 305 yards, 2 touchdowns. P.J. Walker, 15-32, 178 yards. And Kareem Hunt, only 31 yards but 2 big touchdowns, including one late with 15 seconds left in the game. Myles Garrett didn't crack anybody's head open with his helmet, but he did rack up 2 sacks for the Browns. And the Giants, this is another ugly-ass game. So many of them this week. Go to 2-5. Washington drops to 3-4, a 14-7 ugly win. Giants, despite being shut out in the second half, were still able to get this win. Snaps their 4-game losing streak. Tyrod Taylor, 18-29, 279, 2 touchdowns. Saquon hyperextended his elbow, says he will be fined 6 sacks for the Giants. But another ugly, nasty game here in the NFL.
Yeah, what a I'm just gonna say, what a kind of a mess that it is in Washington. And Bieniemy, I mean, we were talking about Sam Howell looking pretty good a couple of weeks ago, and now the wheels seem to have fallen off a little bit. So Giants defense I don't think it's anything great,
Yeah. But Thibodeau's really their big playmaker they got on that side of the ball.
He is.
But yeah, that was another fucking nasty score right there. And if you notice a trend, a lot of these first half getting nothing doing or second half, teams are being completely shut out of either side of the half. Just fucking wild shit. The Seahawks, speaking of ugly, go to 20-10 over the nasty Cardinals. Seahawks go to 4-2. The nasty Birds go to 1-6. 105 yards from Mr. Walker III. Gino, 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. DK Metcalf did not play. First game missed of his career. The Seahawks kind of sneaking around here at 4-2.
Yeah, my boy K9's carrying that team, man. All world. He carried Mel Tucker to his freaking extension, ill-fated extension. But yeah, K9 is one of the best players in the league. I had a feeling he would be coming out. He just keeps proving it every day.
Yeah, these running backs, we have that combination of size and speed. Definitely still relevant in the NFL. The Chiefs, 31-17 over the Chargers. What is going on over there? Not in San Diego, but in L.A. Chiefs go to 6-1. Chargers 2-4. Mahomes, 424, 4 touchdowns. Kelsey and his girlfriend had a nice day. 12 catches, 179 yards, and a touchdown. Herbert, 2 interceptions. Brian Cook and LeGarrette Sneed, both with an interception. Man, I think the Chargers, like we talked about this last week, I think that coach is gone.
Yeah, I think he's a midseason firing, possibly. That such a good quarterback out there, and that guy just can't get it together, man. And he was supposed to be an offensive guru, if I remember correctly, too. And he's
in the Monday night showdown. The Vikings, good Kirk Cousins showed up, 22-17. Vikings with the win, 378 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception for old Kirk. Addison, 7 catches, 122 touchdowns. I think that Niners loss just kind of shows, or should help the Lions fans a little bit to relax, as a lot of these good teams are dropping. 5-2, the 49ers go. Vikings go to 3-4. Kirk Cousins on the trading block.
We talked about that. I think he's going to get traded. That team is not good. They're one of those in between teams. They've got some good people on the team still, but they don't have enough to really justify keeping them around, and they're probably a rebuild candidate.
Cousins to the Niners.
Oof. Yeah, you know my opinion of Brock Purdy. He showed why he was a 7th round pick last night. So
I think you gotta ride him. You got to ride him. You got to ride his ass if you're the 49ers. Kirk Cousins, kind of weird though.
Oh, things that getting kinky.
Oh, it gets kinky every week in the National Football League. I don't know how you get a quarterback though halfway through the season. I don't know if that's ever happened before, right?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
I mean, you got it, but
normally it's wide receivers or other pieces that get traded.
But he is familiar with Kyle Shanahan's offense out there. The time they had in Washington, so might look out for something like that. All right,
yep.
I got my power rankings for football. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
I got the Eagles number 1, Niners still number 2, the Chiefs 3, Dolphins 4, and the Ravens at 5. Lions outside looking in at 6.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. I had the Lions on my number 1 last week, but after that loss, can't put them there anymore. So, and that wasn't. If they had lost by a couple of points, close game, cool, keep them up there. But yeah, you go out there and you get housed, you're gonna drop.
All right, let's slide over to college. The big matchup of the day: Ohio State and Penn State. What happened? 20-12. Ohio State gets the win, smacking the Lions around. Penn State 1-16 on 3rd down. Ugly offense from both sides of the ball, though. Penn State only averaged 4.8 yards per play. Marvin Harrison showed up, 11 catches, 162 yards, and a touchdown. Aller, 18-42, sacked 4 times. I don't think Penn State was ready for the prime time like we thought, but Ohio State didn't look any better either, though. Keep some fairness.
No, those offenses were pretty freaking pathetic all day, man. That was not good football to watch a lot of that time. It was real sloppy. The weather wasn't bad or anything, but just, man, Drew Aller, freaking chickens came home to roost on him. Jesus.
Yeah, he was definitely overmatched in that environment. Washington didn't look any better either. 15-7 over Arizona State. Penix had 2 interceptions and a fumble at halftime. Washington only had 3 points in the first half. Penix 27-42, 275, no touchdown passes in this game for Penix. USC goes down again. Utah just keep doing what they're doing as they're on a mission to get their third straight quietly Pac-12 championship. Utah just doing what they do. 34-32. USC has now lost back-to-back games. Oklahoma, another ranked team in a struggle. 31-29. Oklahoma survives. 3 missed field goals for the Sooners. Still get the win. And Texas against Houston, 31-24. And I'm not talking about the ALCS. Texas, despite winning, a lot of question marks. On the defensive side of the ball, they gave up a ton of huge pass plays, including a 51-yarder, a 35-yarder, a 32-yarder, a 24-yarder, and a 21-yard pass.
It sounds like Michigan State's defense.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I got it mixed up with the other scores here in my signals. Alabama 34-17 over Tennessee. Virginia knocks off Carolina. Down go the Tar Heels. Minnesota versus Iowa. Fair catch. No, I didn't want it. Nope. What's going on out here? Did you see that at the end of that game?
Yeah.
I thought he called a fucking fair catch, to be honest with you. He was waving it off.
Yeah, and those are two. Speaking of pathetic offensive performances, Jesus Christ, those two are not great.
And Michigan, whoa. Seems like every time the Spartans lose a head coach, Michigan just drops an absolute bomb on them.
Yeah,
49-0, as expected. Rolling the Sparties. Hey, look, I got a Michigan helmet. So if some asshole wants to comment, oh, you know who you are. Here's my top 5 for college football. I got Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Florida State 3, Ohio State 4, and Washington. I still got to put them at 5 despite that poor offensive showing, but there were some more shenanigans going down in this Jim Harbaugh saga of sign stealing in this new age of college football. What the hell is going on out there again?
Yeah, you've had, we did the dedicated pod to that. Was that last Friday we recorded? When the news came out. And now, like right before we started the pod, I just sent you that video that Barstool had from a reporter that found it. I mean, this is getting worse by the minute. You're seeing photos and videos of this guy on the sidelines with the head coach, the offense coordinator, defensive coordinator. They've got sheets detailing what the defense and the offense for both the other team is going to call. Not turning a good direction here. And then the tickets, he bought.
He was gonna go. He was gonna go enjoy himself at the Ohio State Penn State game.
He was. Yep.
Hey, maybe this whole time the NCE is really hot for him. And they start digging through all his shit, and they go through his phone because he's on the sideline recording shit. You know what they're gonna find? Pictures of him recording the fucking cheerleaders.
And say maybe they'll find Mel Tucker. He'll have some conversations.
He's been recording shit for good old Mel Tucker. He said, "Go on, give me some of that Penn State ass."
Yeah. And you and I talked about this right before we started. To clarify what's really going on here, the issue, I'm staring at you, Michigan fan base, is not that the signs were stolen. Not you, Rob. Not you. The issue is not that the signs were stolen. The issue is, one, how they were transmitted and how it was done. You're not allowed to do what they did. Two, you're not allowed to use sign recognition in-game and transmitted live. Three, you're not allowed to send somebody dedicated to a game to do that and transmit it back to the team. Those are the 3 things that are wrong. That's what's wrong. The NCAA is investigating that. And then there's video of this guy and people that he bought tickets for at these games recording the sidelines with their phones.
Yeah, it seems like he has a whole little mini army that he buys tickets.
He does.
One goes on one sideline, he goes on the other. Like we talked about, man, that article, clear as day, and, ESPN does kind of over-exaggerate some shit. That whole thing, but remember, they tried to go after Izzo, I think, a couple years ago, was completely over the fucking top. But...
yeah. They hate Michigan State,
he was going to go to the Penn State. If this would have never came out, he was going to be at that Penn State game. Hopefully recording cheerleaders, but I think he's recording the fucking sideline. Oh,
yeah,
man.
So
what do you think the punishment
keeps getting worse.
What do you think the punishment is? We kind of touched on this last week because I think it's twofold. I think I think regardless, Harbaugh's going to get hit because it's his program. Let's call it what it is. I mean, he's the head coach, so regardless if he or not, he's going to get canned. But what if...
I was going to say that exactly.
Yeah, so he's going to get it either way. But I think it's going to be... How do I put this without sounding like a kindergartner? Basically, it's going to be worse if he fucking knew, and I think it's going to be a little bit less if he didn't. So, let's say he knows. How many games do you give him? Or for the school, what do you do?
Oh, the school? I think they're going to do nothing.
No,
they don't care.
I'm saying the NCAA.
NCAA.
Yeah, let's say that.
He's done for a year. They're going to suspend him a whole season at least.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
And then
I think they're going to vacate some wins. Because there's evidence that this started in 2021. The NCAA, which allegedly they have this evidence that it started in 2021, they're going to vacate some wins along the way, I'm going to guess. And I think that they're going to make them ineligible for the postseason either this year or next year. You know, you and I talked a little. It'd be hard for them to do it this year because there's an appellate process. So we'll see what happens with that, but it's not heading in a good direction.
I'm glad you brought that up because I do want to say this. This is nothing, guys. I'm telling you, nothing's going to happen midseason. I think that's a pipe dream. Michigan's not getting hammered with anything. I mean, unless they got some more video of this dude, in the fucking huddle or some shit with a helmet on and a jersey and some shoulder pads, and they're like, who the fuck is number 15? And he's in the huddle. They're not going to get hit this year. They can just keep delaying this whole process. I think the NCAA doesn't want Michigan in the Final Four or winning the national championship.
Oh, I agree.
Because that thing's going to be in question.
Yeah.
You know, closest thing to we have this is the Astro scandal. Banging trash cans with buzzers under their jersey. But they didn't get caught. They got caught for how they cheated, but they didn't get caught in the process of how they gathered the information, if I can remember. So, yeah, I think Harbaugh, if he's aware of this, definitely gone the entire next season, which means he will be gone to the NFL. But, hey, if he walks away with the national championship, like I said last week, yeah, I guess it's worth it, to be honest with you.
They brought up on 97.1 yesterday, the NCAA really seems to be trying to move very fast with this. And I like you and I talked about, I really think they don't care about the program. Jim Harbaugh openly taunted them. They want him. He's the prime target, and they want to hang all of this on his head because he essentially told the NCAA to get fucked. And the NCAA is not somebody that you tell that to. It's like the feds. You don't walk up to the FBI when you're under investigation and tell them to go fuck themselves.
I just picture the NCAA having old Jimmy like in a chair and he's tied up.
Yeah.
And they're like they're
slugging him.
Hard jumpers, and they're like shocking the shit up his nipples, and he's fucking not talking and shit. Like I really see.
Tell us what you fucking know.
I ain't telling you nothing. Who's got it better than us? So
they just shank him. They start shanking him to death.